Sets, example 11. So we're going to consider the universal set U that has the following elements in it: MATH, ROCKS. And then set A is defined as follows, as is B, as is C. So we're going to use our set operations to work out the following. So the first one that they want us to list are the elements in set A intersect B. So remember, for that to happen, we have to look at sets A and B. Are there any elements that are in both sets? It would have to be in both sets. So I wrote down the elements of both sets, and so let's take a look at what elements they have in common. They both have M, and they both have A, and that looks like that is it. So we are looking for the set with elements M and A, so don't forget your braces when you are talking about a set. Those are absolutely necessary. Okay, for B, they're looking for the union of set C and B. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and write my answer. Remember, it's going to be elements that are in set C, set B, or both. So I'm going to go ahead and write M, the element from set B, because that wasn't also in C. A was in C, set C as well, so I don't have to write that again. S was in set C. I don't have to write that again either. So K was not in set C, so I will need to add that element to my list. Recall to find the complement of a set. In C, we want the complement of C. I want elements in the universal set that are not elements of C. So I've listed all the elements of the universal set, and I'm going to cross out anything that was in set C. So C was there, O was in there, A, T, and S. So my set of the complement of C will include elements M, H, R, and K. I believe I've included all of those leftover elements. Okay, so with D, they want the union of A and C, and once I get that, they want to intersect that with set B. So let's go ahead and just list the elements in A, U, C. So I have math, and C, I need to add C. I didn't have an O. I already have the A, I already have the T. I didn't have an S. So right there, I'm just going to put out to the side, that would have been my AUC. Now I don't have it in braces or anything right now. I'm just doing some scratch work. Okay, and then set B has elements M, A, S, and K. All right, so now we want the intersection, right? So let's see what elements we have in common. So we have the M, the A, and then the S. And it looks to me like that's all we have in common. So let's list those elements now. We have M, element A, and element S. Okay, let's just move this up just a tad. Okay, in example 10E, if you use the order of operations, we need to do this first, right here. Do the parentheses first. So let's see what the intersection of C and B is. So what was in set C? COATS. And what was in set B? MASK. All right, what do they have in common? No C, no O, there's our A, no T, and then there's our S. Okay, so it looks like C intersect B had elements A and S in it. Okay? So when I want to put my final answer of A union, the intersection of C and B, I'm going to list the elements of set A, and that would include M, A, T, H, or A and an S. Well, I already have the A. Looks like I'm going to have to add the S. Okay. Move this down just a bit again so I can see all the sets. Okay, on the next one, we have A union B, and I want the complement of that. So let's go ahead and write down A union B. What's an A union B? So that would be M, A, T, H. I already have the M, I already have the A, S, K. But remember, I want the complement of that. So if we write down the universal set, remember the complement is I want everything that was in the universal set except for the A union B. So I'm going to get rid of the M-A-T-H and the S and the K, and I'm left with elements R, O, and C. Alright, so G, it looks very simple, but we need to take our time on this because this would be the difference. People usually don't do real well on these because they try to add some extra to it. Now remember, according to the definition, it's just elements that are in set A and not in B. So I should never add any elements that were not in set A to begin with. So in my final answer, I better not have anything beyond a M, A, or T, or H, okay? So I'm simply removing elements that were in set B as well. So M is in set B, so is A. And then some people will ask, well, what about the S and K? Well, they weren't in there in set A, so I don't have to scratch those out. I just want what was left over in set A. Do not add the M, the S, and the K. Do not add the S and the K. Okay? All right, H is going to take a little bit of time here. According to the order of operations, I need to find the union of C and A. So I did that by listing the elements of C and then any element of A that had not been listed yet. So that is why I included the M and then the H because the A and T had already been listed. Please recall, though, I need the complement of this. So we're going to write the universal set down again. And we are going to cross out every element that was in the union of C and A. So and it looks like I am left with R and K. So I'm going to pause this and write down the universal set so I can get my complement of B. So there's my universal set, and if I want to find the complement of B, please recall that I will cross out every element that was in set B from the universal set. So I am left with T, H, R, O, C. Okay, so according to our original problem, we want the intersection of these two. So it looks like they both have a R, and that is it. So sometimes I'll get a groan from my students because they thought all that work and the only thing they have in common is a R. Well, yes. Okay, on example I, we want the union of the empty set and set C. This will go pretty quickly because let's list all the elements in the empty set. Okay, we're done because there are none because it's empty. and then we'll list all the elements from set C. All right, that's it for that. Now J, I know we've always talked about the order of operations, but if we can just take a bird's eye view of this, I'm going to eventually want the intersection of the empty set and what we get here. The empty set has nothing in it, therefore it can't have anything in common with another set. So we'll end up with the empty set for our solution there.